everybody, it's Bill from Soulmates and Sawdust, and welcome to our channel. My wife Pam is behind the camera today. Today we're going to be working on a project that's going to entail some edge banding. We're going to be using these strips of 1/2-inch plywood, and what I'm making is a wall unit that's going to hold matchbox cars. So we're going to have these little boxes in this frame, and we don't like, the plywood is fantastic to use because it's nice and straight, and the problem though is that you see the plies in the plywood, and that's not pretty. We don't want to see that. So we're going to use what we call is edge banding, and that gets ironed on. So what we're going to try to do here, we don't have a lot of videos out right now, but we're going to try to make quite a few. We do furniture builds, we do furniture refinishing, and we're going to throw these short little videos up on certain techniques and some projects that we do. Just to give you an idea, we've been doing woodworking. I've been doing woodworking since I was 16 years old. And now we do it for a living, and we have for the past 5 years or so. So let's get right into it. If you like the content and you want to see more of this, things like this, hit the notification bell, like our video, subscribe to our channel, and by doing this you'll be able to tell YouTube that you want to see more of these things, and our name and our projects will come up more. All right guys, let's get into it. Let's pan down and take a look at the basic idea of how this is going to be laid out. I have all these strips, 2-inch strips of 1/2-inch plywood. We're using it because we want them to be nice and straight and flat. And we're gonna use edge banding to make the faces look prettier than what they are. So let's move some of these over. And they're falling like dominoes. And this is the strip we're gonna be doing. So let's take a look at what we're going to need. This is 1/2-inch plywood, 1/2-inch maple plywood. So what I've got is 1/2-inch maple banding. You can get this at woodworking supply stores, Woodcraft, Home Depot. Actually, no, I don't think Home Depot carries this. I think they carry the 3/4 inch. But Amazon, I think, is where I got this. I got 50 feet of it. It's 1/2-inch maple banding. And when I say 1/2-inch, it's a little bit larger than 1/2-inch because you want it to overhang the actual plywood just a little bit. We're going to need a sanding block, a knife with a very, very sharp blade. You're going to need an edge banding trimmer. You can also use a knife or a piece of sandpaper, but this is so much easier, and I'll show you why. And of course, we're going to need an iron that's very, very hot. All right, let's get started. Here's the piece we're going to edge band. I'm going to look to see which edge I like better. This one I think I like better. It's a little flatter. We're going to just quick go over it with the sandpaper and a block. And you know what? I got a little bump here, so actually I'm going to go to this side. And I didn't feel that, I didn't see that until I ran the block over it, and I could feel the little bump. So quick. Just take the dust off with your hand, or with if you use a piece of paper towel or something, you're gonna get caught on some of these little splinters. We're gonna take our edge banding, and basically I just go over about 1/2 inch on both sides. And I'm going to cut it. Pardon me. I'm just going to cut it with my hands, just bending it. Just get it on there nice and straight. Hang it, hang it over about 1/2 inch on both sides. And again, the edge banding is going to come over the edge just a little bit. And when I mean a little bit, I mean maybe a 32nd of an inch. take your hot iron, just lay it on top on one side and let it sit there just for a few seconds or so. And I'm gonna take it off, and just with my hands, it's gonna be a little hot, but I wanna make sure that I have a little bit overhanging on this side and this side. And then run it out. The last thing you wanna do is to be off. You know, you don't wanna be off. That's exaggerated, but if it's off just a little bit, you're gonna have issues come towards the end. All right, so let's put it back on. Now we're just gonna go very slowly from one end to the other. Now this edge banding is glued on one side, and all we're doing with the iron is activating that glue with the heat. The glue melts, and then as it cools, it'll harden. Again, I'm feeling both sides to make sure that there's a little bit of an overhang on both sides. If there's not enough overhang, or let's say it moved a little bit, while the glue is hot, you can still pull it back to where it needs to be. But I'm happy with that. I always like to take my ends and just round over the iron just a little bit so it gets those edges. With this project, it's not going to be a big deal because I am going to cut these to proper length. And we're good. Look at that nice, pretty edge on my plywood. Now, I don't know if you can see it, hopefully. See how the edge overhangs on both sides? So now we're going to trim the edge off here with our sharp knife, utility blade. Turn it around. And now for the trimmer.
Let's bring that in and let me see if I can get that to focus on the overhang. See it a little bit there.
So with this trimmer squeezes around your piece. You squeeze it, so you don't have to buy one for each individual size of plywood. And then there's two blades on the inside here, one on this side, one on this side, and there's blades on both sides going this way as well. So here's what we're gonna do. I start usually in the middle somewhere, squeeze it, and pull in this direction. And I'm gonna do that again. You see how it pulls out? This was from the other side. And now I've got a nice smooth edge. But now I have to do the other side. Same thing, nice. Look at that. Now I don't have this ugly edge, I've got a nice banded edge. And what I'll do is I'll just take a piece of sandpaper, very lightly go over that joint where the two pieces meet. Nice. And that is it. Simple as that. I'll do that on all of these pieces. I'll cut them all to size, put them all together, and that'll be our project. It's a little time consuming, but it's well worth the effort at the end of the project. So stay tuned for more videos. We're not sure what we're doing next, so keep an eye on YouTube, and we'll put more videos out for you. Have a great day.